military bases. The national debt is on track to be $50 trillion. Is currently $14 trillion and growing. How many military bases does the United States have in other countries? It is over 1,000. These 1,000 bases constitute 95% of all the military bases any country in the world maintains on any other country's territory. In other words, the United States is to military bases as Heinz is to ketchup. The old way of doing colonialism, practiced by the Europeans, was to take over entire countries and administer them. But this was clumsy. The United States has pioneered a leaner approach to global empire. As historian Chalmers Johnson says, Americans' version of the colony is the military base. The United States, says Johnson, has an empire of bases. Its empire of bases gives the United States global reach, but the shape of this empire, insofar as it tilts towards Europe, is a bloated and anachronistic holdover from the Cold War. These bases do not come cheap. Excluding U.S. bases in Afghanistan and Iraq, the United States spends about $102 billion a year to run its overseas bases, according to Myron Pemberton of the Institute for Policy Studies. And in many cases, you have to ask what purpose they serve. For example, the United States has 227 bases in Germany. Maybe this made sense during the Cold War, when Germany was split in two by the Iron Curtain and U.S. policymakers sought to persuade the Soviets that the American people would see an attack on Europe as an attack on itself. But a new era, when Germany is reunited and the United States is concerned about flashpoints of conflict in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, it makes about as much sense for the Pentagon to hold on to 227 military bases in Germany as it would for the post office to maintain a fleet of horses and buggies. Absolutely ridiculous to have 50 bases and 50,000 troops in Japan, 50,000 troops in South Korea, 50,000 troops in Germany. There's 50,000 troops in Iraq, but there's 100,000 military advisors, Halliburton paid mercenaries. There's 150,000 people being paid as troops in Iraq. And we're building more bases every day. And this is the route we go to $50 trillion.